Hey, what's going on? Tony Scott here on this hot Monday, 103, heat index 497. We're baking like potatoes out here. Going to be this way all week, I think. Like 106 in a couple of days, and it's our turn. It's our turn to have the thermostat on hell. But I'm live from the Smooth R&B 105.7 studios inside my Smooth Ride Home radio show. Here I am with Tony's Tea on Facebook Live, looking at some entertainment stories and a little bit more, with, of course, your comments, which are always everything to me. So there's that. And T.I. has been charged with 3 misdemeanors from an incident in May. Remember back in May, T.I. went home. He lives in a gated community, and he couldn't get past the gated community, the security guard, because there was an incident. They were arguing, going back and forth. The guy wouldn't let T.I. in. T.I. eventually got in because Tiny intervened. But then T.I. went back, and you remember the whole mess. Well, there's going to be 3 charges here. Public drunkenness, simple assault, and disorderly conduct. There's going to be no jail time, but his lawyer, Steve Sato, calls the charges baseless, ill-founded, and unjustified. So, but you knew charges were coming from that. They weren't going to let him slide. That just wasn't going to happen. Selena Powell is some kind of internet star, and she's him and Snoop up in a cheating scandal where she released a video that looks like Snoop was asking for some oral sex, but no one's like 100% sure, because is it really Snoop? People are like, is it really Snoop? Is that what, that kind of thing like that? Now, if you don't know who Selena Powell is, she's a woman who allegedly lied about being pregnant by Offset from Migos. There's that. Meghan Markle's father is speaking again, saying that Meghan is terrified of her new royal life. Thomas Markle says he sees it in her eyes. I see it in her face. I see it in her smile. It's a pain smile, and it worries me. I think she's under too much pressure. And he also said, what's the deal with the dress code if you're a royal? Why can't you show your knees? It's called decorum, Mr. Markle. Decorum. Look that up. You should apply that to your life and not speak publicly about your daughter like that. You're not helping. If she's stressed out, you pointing it out to the world is not helping her out at all. Come on, man. Have several seats. Hush. Hush your mouth. Hey, did you see Michelle Obama partying with Tina Lawson in Paris at the Beyonce Jay-Z on the Run tour? Check that out. Look at Michelle there in the white. There's Michelle. There's Tina. Of course, Tina's in her mid-60s, so Tina's like, you know what? Yeah, this is fun. This is fun. I might have to sit down, though, because this is just too... Michelle's a little younger, a lot younger, actually, than Tina Lawson, but there's like, Tina, take a seat. Oh, this is too much. It's hot outside. All this smoke. I need a break. But Michelle is gone, man. Gone, girl. You go, girl. Speaking of the Obamas, President Obama was in Kenya visiting his sister and his father's side of the family. She, Dr. Is it Alma Obama? She, her charitable organization built a sports training center they named after their father, that she named after their father. It was the former president's first visit to Kenya since 2015. Kobe Bryant is in a trademark war with a pharmaceutical company over Black Mamba. He's trying to get it settled. A company called High Tech Pharmaceuticals wants to sell Black Mamba Hyper Rush. Those are diet pills. And Kobe filed his paperwork after H Tech filed their paperwork. So he filed it afterwards, but he says they should be able to profit because for years I've been building that name. The company says, you know what, we can both be Black Mamba. People are not going to get confused. And I think they would be confused because I think these days, at least younger people, when they hear Black Mamba, they think of Kobe Bryant. So people might think these are Kobe Bryant's diet pills. And I can see where that would be a problem. I'm just saying. Scientists say that a bad marriage can seriously damage your health. Researchers have found that marital headbutting of heterosexual couples negatively affects the health of husbands and wives. Men apparently suffer from this more than women. When you argue, the body can experience inflammation, changes in appetite, increase in stress hormones that can affect heart function and the immune system. Researchers agree that couples should work on their communication so they don't always fall into conflict. I think the reason why, like my wife, and we never really argue, is part of it is I just decide, is this worth arguing over? Most of the time the answer is no. And 2 is, I'm not her daddy. So I'm not making decisions governing her life. I may point something out, but that's on her. I'm not here to boss her around. I'm not her dad. I'm her husband. So we don't argue. And she does the same thing with me. She doesn't tell me what to do that I know of. Just saying. Hey, how about Coupon Carl, the man at CVS? Folks are talking about him. You know, he called the police on a black customer for having a bogus coupon, right?
It's a female? She's wearing a green...
Tell them I'll be here when they arrive, that I will be waiting for them to arrive.
A white...
You can tell them her name is Camilla Hudson. I have ID and will share it.
Hudson. And it's probably spelled C-A-M-I-L-L-A-H.
You got it. Exactly, like the river.
Morry, M-O-R-R-Y.
Yeah.
Matson, M-A-T-S-O-N. African American.
Black. No, I'm not African American. I'm black. Black isn't a bad word.
Well, you know what? CVS has apologized. CVS has fired Coupon Carl. And the manufacturing coupon in question, the manufacturer's coupon in question, turns out it was a legitimate coupon. The coupon is good. So he called the cops for nothing. I had read where he called the cops and they hung up on him because it was like, dude, come on, man. Dude, come on. No. So they hung up on him. He called back, supposedly. Now, there is another part of this story where apparently, allegedly, he had been arrested or got in some trouble. I'll just say this. He was in trouble not too long ago for forging some signatures. And I'm sure you can Google Coupon Carl and get the whole backstory on that if you're interested. But that's that. Coupon Carl. We got Coupon Carl. Who do we have? We had I forget their names, but anyway, there's that. So, hey, the president met with Vladimir Putin today, and Vladimir Putin denied that that Russia interfered in our elections in 2016. At a joint press conference, and Putin said that Trump raised the issue of so-called election interference. He says, quote, the Russian state has never interfered and is not going to interfere into internal American affairs, including the election process. The president said shortly afterwards at that same press conference, he just said it's not Russia. I will say this, I don't see any reason why it would be. Now, Republicans are denouncing the president, John McCain, Trey Gowdy. They're all saying, you know, hey, that was just wrong. That some say it's treasonous. I don't know if it rises to that. There's so many different loopholes for treason to be applied in certain things, but he clearly chose because the subject of the United States intelligence community has all of them have concluded that Russia did interfere in our elections, and they say who you believe, and he essentially said he believes Putin and Russia. And that's that, right? So because he said that, and because the president, and if you know, go back if you haven't watched it, if you watched it, go back and watch it. If you haven't, you got to see the president's body language because he comes off as the son who better say something. He better get it right, otherwise he's going to be in trouble. You could feel the tension in his own body, and Putin's just sitting, he's chilling. He could give no damns because he could snap Donald Trump's neck and nobody would even know, right? He's a trained KGB agent. He's a killer, literally a killer. That's what they get trained to do, right? But it's interesting, though, because there's still a lot of people, and even the people who work for Trump, some of his own people in his cabinet are saying, dude, even Fox News said that was horrible. That was horrible. They're all saying it was like, wow. He didn't just say that, did he? And he did. He has the balls of a gnat. But, I mean, you know, and that's actually an insult to gnats, but it's like, wow, did he just really side with Russia? He did. He actually did. That's incredible. That is crazy, you know? So there's that, but I don't know. You guys watched the World Cup yesterday? France won. People were saying, France. Some people were congratulating Africa because most of the team is African and Muslim. And they say the World Cup will be in Qatar in 2022, and it'll be in the United States in 2026. By then, we should be known as Deuce. Our country's name will be Deuce. It'll be short for Russia Junior. We'll be Russia West, as it were, probably by 2026 at the rate we're going. So there's that. Anything you guys want to comment on, something I missed, something I didn't miss, your comments are always welcome. Just let me know what you're talking about when you reference your comments. I have something to reference. Hello, Sharon. And Michelle, Jeremy, Ray, how you doing? Or Riri, how you doing? Dwight's in the house. Cedric, everybody, hello. How you doing? Cedric, I'm doing great. Thank you. Am I enjoying the heat? Annette says, no. Are you? No. There's hot, and then there's like hell. And this is hell. This is 103. And that's where we are right there. But no, it's hot. But I mean, I'm not spending a lot of time outside, walking from where I live to my car, walking from the car to the building, walking back from the building to my car, going home, walking from my car back into the building. That's the extent of my outside in the heat. Those folks who work outside for a living, you're in my thoughts and prayers, and take care of yourself, because this is not right. It's wrong on so many levels. Yeah, Roberta, you know what? The ladies were having fun in Paris. Although Tina had to sit down, man. That's, I trust me. I completely understand that. It was a little bit too much for Tina after a while. She had to sit down, but Michelle was still getting her dance and her party on. One website I saw that had the story, that had video and everything. You can watch the entire thing, krb.com. But one site was actually selling, they had a link to shorts that looked similar to the ones Michelle Obama had on. I was like, there's just an angle. There's always an angle. What Hey, what's going on, Betty? How you doing? Cedric, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Roberto, I'm not going to criticize the man's hands for shaking, because I don't know if he was shaking because he was scared or he had Parkinson's or some other thing going on. So I'm going to stay away from that. You want to say about his hand shaking, you're more than welcome to. But I just that's not the focus of the story, in my opinion, because like I said, he could have some kind of medical condition. We know he has a mental condition, so there's that. Michelle, thank you. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that. Gail says Trump is treasonous. Yep, that's treason. That's treason. Well, I can't argue with you on that. So, Esther says he has to say what he said because he's in Russia's pocket. They have something. Do you really think they have something on him? I mean, a lot of people say there's videotape of him with some prostitutes who were like either peeing on him or peeing on each other. And, man, if they have something on him, whatever it is, boy, it better be big. It better be big, right? But I kind of think that if it's financial, that he kind of did that to himself by saying that he takes no money from Russia when his son says we get most of our money from Russia. I mean, that's on the record. That is literally on the record. Colorado Springs is checking in. Joanne, how you doing? So there's that. Karen is in St. Louis. There's that. I just read in St. Louis where 10 students at Washington University, which for those who don't know, Washington University is in Clayton, Missouri, a ritzy suburb of St. Louis. 10 African-American students there were detained by police and accused of skipping out on a bill at IHOP or something. Did you hear about that? And they were falsely accused. So how are they going to clean that up? In St. Louis, they won't do anything. They won't do a damn thing. That's the thing about St. Louis and race relations. It's like, when it's black folks' fault, you get hemmed up. If it's white folks' fault, it never happened. That's the truth. I'm not lying. Am I lying? I'm not lying. A lot of people don't know, right, that the worst kept secret about St. Louis is its race problem. And a lot of the world found out about it when Mike Brown was murdered. But that's just the truth. That's the absolute truth, that the worst kept secret in St. Louis is the race problem that they have. They seriously do. It's a race problem. And to say it doesn't exist is not either being honest or you're a liar. You can choose whichever one you want, Vicky, I expected the president at the very least to say, you know what, I'm not sure. Still looking into it. But see, he kind of painted himself in a corner because he's always said that there was no Russian involvement. He has always said that. So I guess based on knowing that he's always said nothing, there's no collusion, then I guess I'm not surprised. But it was like, to me, that was like his last chance. That was his last chance to get it right. Even Newt Gingrich is saying, dude, you need to explain to the American people why you said what you did, and you need to explain yourself like quickly. Even Newt Gingrich, who is one of his biggest high profile supporters. So I guess I was more hoping, playing off emotion, hoping that he would, say something, but no, He didn't. And clearly, when they first met, my understanding was that Putin kept him waiting. Right? Putin kept him waiting. And then when they took their pictures together, Trump smiled and Putin didn't smile because Putin, I'm iron, I'm steel, I'm mean mugging, and Trump is just cheesing away like Gomer Pyle back in the day. So yeah, that's kind of like an angle I think that we really need to pay attention to what's going on here. And I wonder, is it a matter of the people who refuse to see this for what it was today, which was essentially him, I don't even know what the word, bowing down, was submitting, but his supporters, I don't know if because clearly now, I think now more than any time, I think we have to look at Republicans. There are Republicans and there are nationalists. Those are two different groups of people. Are there some in each? Yeah, but for the most part, I think Republicans are Republicans, and the nationalists put party first, put race first, and not country. Not love of country. I think that's where that is. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's about, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I think that the whole thing is to hurt the party that's not in the White House. It's not about what's good for the country. It's about people in that top 1% being able to protect their money, keep making the millions, and whipping us along the way. Whipping us along the way. That's where I think that is. I think a lot of people kind of thought like me, Paulette. I think they were seeing this as the president's last chance to get it right about Putin and Russia. And there he stood next to Putin, the president of Russia, and he folded like a cheap suit. He folded. There were no balls there at all. Not on our side. No, ma'am. No. There was none of that. I'm just saying. And you know what, Paulette? I think that may be part of it, is that, you know what? You keep doing what we're telling you to do, and you can have all the Trump buildings in Russia that you want. I think that's got to be on the table. In addition to the prostitution sex thing that's been out there forever. Not the videotape. I don't know if there's a videotape, but I'm saying the allegation. That's been out there forever, right? But the fact that he doesn't have that, yeah. Does he have a Trump building in China? No, but he's doing a trade war against China, so he's trying to get the costs down. And then he'll ease up, and then it'll be good. Because he already gave Ivanka Trump, from what I read over the weekend, she got a pass on the tariffs that are going to be charged for her goods coming into America that are being made. Those Make America Great hats that are being made in China are going to cost more because they're going to get taxed more. It was like he was starstruck. Exactly, Vicky. He was either overwhelmed, he was intimidated, or both. And I kind of think it was both, but it was more intimidated. I mean, look at his body language. He was tense. And Putin's up there with his hand on the podium like, yeah. And Trump is, huge, but he's all tense and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. It is, Gwendolyn, it's a sad time for our country, and we need to do something. Are we going to do something? That's on us. If we get 4 more years of this, that's clearly on us. Because we can't get it together. I'm not saying we deserve it. Nobody deserves this. Because this is crazy. This is bananas, right? I think Trey Gowdy, that one of the Republicans, says the first question that Trump should have asked Putin is, where can we pick up these 25 Russians at the airport that wreaked havoc on our elections? Where can we pick them up? Now, for him to say that, I think that's pretty significant. People, and not just Democrats. There are Republicans. Gail, how you doing? Who are Pissed to the highest level of pistivity. Remember that phrase? You pull that one out from money. Remember that? I think that, and they legitimately should be mad. I think they should be, because it's like, wow, this is bananas. This is what he did today. I think left everybody stunned. Because I think a lot of people are like, now he'll get it right. This is crunch time now. He's in the room. He's standing next to the president of Russia. Now's the time that he needs to say it, and he will, and he didn't. In fact, he would have been better off saying no comment. I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm not here for that. That's what he should have said. That'd have been a load of bunk too, but it'd have been better than what he said. You know? Anita says, I saw a clip where Trump got on the plane holding the umbrella over him and left his wife and son getting wet. Now I've seen an old photo of that. I haven't seen anything recent, although over the weekend at the World Cup when it was raining, there was an umbrella over Putin being held over him, but the president of France was getting soaked, but he didn't care. His team won, so he had no damn to give about that. So I haven't seen a recent picture of that, Anita. I've seen one in the past, though. Paulette, of course he wants to have buildings all over the world. Absolutely. I mean, because that's money. See, let's be honest. He has a very good looking wife, but that's a trophy for him, right? It's more important for him to get these buildings up in Russia and other places where he doesn't have buildings than it is to spend time with his wife. I mean, that's clear. That's very clear. So there's that. But it was an amazing thing to watch. And then one reporter flat out asked Putin, "Do you have something on President Trump?" Of course, he wasn't gonna really answer that, not truthfully anyway. But yeah, that's crazy. That's yes, that's who was elected in a sham election. That's it. Cedric, have a great evening, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. So anyway, I'll leave you with that. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Your support is always everything. Share the video on your Facebook page. You know, you can do that. That would be very helpful. Follow me on all my social media, Tony Scott Media. And, yeah, so there's that. But, appreciate you guys hanging out. Hopefully tomorrow again. If you're in North Texas, please do your best to stay hydrated. Check on the elderly, check on the pets, check on people who don't have AC in their house. Check on older people who have AC, because they tend not to turn it on because they say, you know, the bill's too high. So check on those folks too. That's important. So do that, and have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.